From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, it looks like we're going to continue to see scattered showers here as we take it through the day on Tuesday with snow levels mainly above 4,000 feet. But I do expect to see our first taste of spring, which is something I've been talking about since last week, should be here later this week. But with that, we're also going to be looking at some gusty winds possibly for your Thursday, Friday. We'll take a closer look at that in your deep dive forecast a little bit later. Widespread rain will turn over to more in the way of scattered showers later on tonight. Most of it will be off to the east here. So the main storm system is pretty much exiting Northern California tonight. And as a result, things begin to taper off, especially as we go into tomorrow morning. Scattered snow flurries around 4,000 feet or higher. It could get as low as 3,500 feet, maybe in the form of a mix, but overall mainly above 4,000 feet. Now I'm going to take you into the noon hour tomorrow. Still some scattered showers here, but notice we're not seeing as much activity down to the south. In fact, there may be some more clearing by the noon hour for places like Glen and even western portions of Butte County. Then we take you into about 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Still a chance for a few scattered showers. You know, here's the thing. It's not entirely out of the question for maybe even an isolated thunderstorm as well, especially if we do see some of that daytime heating through the day. But I think the best chances at this point do look to be out towards northern Humboldt and parts of Del Norte County as well. But even at 3 p.m., we're still seeing some of those scattered snow flurries out there, but we're also beginning to see some of that clearing as well. By 6 p.m. tomorrow, most of the shower activity is gone at this point. Clearing in the valley, maybe a few flurries down towards southern and southeastern portions of Plumas County. You can still see a little bit of activity even trying to hit the parts of the coast as well. But then by Wednesday, it's all gone. Now maybe some winds, those north winds, bringing down some clouds on Wednesday, especially to the north. Otherwise, mainly sunny skies. Winds not terribly strong yet on Wednesday. But I do think that by Thursday, Friday of next week, those winds may pick up a little bit more. Now, looking at the forecast rainfall totals through Tuesday evening, about a quarter to a half an inch in the valley, a little bit more than that for the coast, and obviously much less heading off to the north and east. And of course, what that means for snow, not a lot, especially in the lower mountain communities. Yes, we could see a little bit of accumulating snow around Chester, but say down to 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet, most likely at best, a bit of a mix. As I mentioned, mainly about 4,000 or 5,000 feet before you start seeing the more significant snow. So of course, the ski park, for example, seeing probably less than a foot of snow. You're talking maybe upwards of about 6 inches or so. But look at the winds. As we go into tonight, the winds do start to eventually taper off. And by tomorrow, winds really not that big of a deal. They may be a little gusty at times in the eastern mountains, but for the most part, Tuesday, not that bad with the winds. And really, even going into your Wednesday, the winds shouldn't be that bad. It's Thursday and Friday that those winds will start to pick up. All right, so here's what we have in store for us tonight. Temperatures in the mid to upper 40s for the valley and in the mainly 30s, mid 30s give or take for the higher elevations. Although in Trinity County, mid to upper 30s, low to mid 40s for the north coast, both inland and for the coast. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures for your Tuesday, upper 40s to low 50s for your daytime highs. We take you off to the north coast, to the south in southern Humboldt County. There you can see out towards Shelter Cove, 52. 55 degrees for Alder Point. Eureka, a high of about 54 degrees. We take you up north with Smith River, about 54. 53 for Trinidad. Orleans, about 50. And look for a high of about 52 degrees for Willow Creek. And your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mid to upper 40s. 45 degrees for Weed, 47 for Happy Camp, and Doris, a high of about 42 degrees. Out towards your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures in the mid 40s, give or take. Cedarville, about 43. 45 for Tule Lake and Canby, about 43 degrees. And your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Look for a high of 47 for Westwood, 50 in Shingletown, and Paradise, a high of about 53 degrees. And your valley neighborhood forecast to the south with temperatures in the low 60s. 61 degrees for Corning, 61 for Elk Creek and Durham, about 62 degrees. Of course, scattered showers, especially for the first half of the day, but even into the afternoon hours as well. 57 for the city of Schatz Lake, 54 for Whiskeytown, and 59 in Palisadro. Here's your 7-day outlook, and there you can see those temperatures will increase. And for your St. Patrick's weekend, upper 70s for those daytime highs. I think some of us could even be flirting with those 80s here over the weekend and even into early next week. Well, that's a look at your forecast. If you want more of a deep dive, stick around. We're going to talk about that overall setup here because this is what's going to help to illustrate not only the warming trend, but the gusty winds that we're going to see out there as well. So let's take a look at that. There's a disturbance moving through tonight and into tomorrow. So by tomorrow, we're on the backside of the storm system, but still some cool and unstable air in place that will keep that chance for showers in the forecast. But what's going to happen is this area of high pressure really starts to build. Then we see a pocket of cold air begin to dig down to the south. So with the building ridge and the digging trough of low pressure, we're kind of sandwiched between the two. So by Thursday, when they're both kind of at their peak strength, we'll be looking at the difference between the two. It's what's known as a pressure gradients. So these white lines are isobars. When we pack them tight together, that's a sign of some strong winds coming in from the northeast down to the south and west. So some strong north winds coming in on Thursday, possibly lingering into Friday before those winds start to die down as we go into the weekend and early next week. Now, I'm also seeing signs that this warmer weather won't last forever. The long-range forecast now models are in fairly good agreement and consistent here the last few days with some cooler air coming down from the north. Now, exact placement of where this cooler air will be, still up in the air at this point. But I am seeing signs that, yes, it's going to warm up for a good period of time, but by the middle of next week, maybe some colder air moving in. I don't anticipate a lot of rain or snow out of this system, but again, we're looking a long ways out. All right, so here you can see here the setup that we have. That's the system moving through tonight. Now it's off to our east by tomorrow, but still some lingering activity here through the day on Tuesday. There's the ridge building. There's the trough digging to the south. As a result, there are those gusty winds for your Thursday and Friday. By the weekend, that ridge of high pressure pretty much on top of us and then slowly retreating to the south and west early next week before we start to see that cooler air begin to dig down to the south here by next Wednesday. So again, we're looking out a week from this Wednesday. So this is looking a week from this Wednesday. So it's still a long ways out. And this is all going to be changing here day by day. But the overall trend is showing at this point that sometime near the middle of next week, the warmer weather that we're seeing move in will be pushed out by some cooler air moving in toward the middle of next week. Again, no guarantees at this point, but it's looking more and more consistent. So we'll see. We'll keep a close eye on it for you. Here you can see your wave heights. They're still fairly high, especially out to sea. That'll be the case not only today, but even tomorrow, although it looks like they will start to subside going into tomorrow. So your marine forecast for your Tuesday, west winds at about 5 to 15 knots. Your waves from the west at 11 feet at 13 seconds. Now there's a gale warning for this evening and into tonight, but should be allowed to expire by tomorrow morning. Of course, we'll have more for you on that tomorrow morning in our morning update. There you can, of course, see those temperatures are going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s here for your Tuesday. So yes, it's not warming up a whole lot, but still, of course, that chance for showers. And there will be some sunshine coming in later in the day, pretty much for everyone. So yes, we do have some changes in the forecast, to say the least. So there you can see, of course, the chance for scattered showers, especially for the first half of the day. Chances do diminish, though, as we get closer to the evening hours. By the time you get into Wednesday, it's completely dry, a little bit warmer, and even warmer by Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the North Coast and for Trinity County. We've still got snow levels around 4,000 feet. Maybe a few of those scattered showers out there as well. Otherwise, drying out for Wednesday, through the weekend, and early next week. That's also the case for the higher elevations. And the higher elevations getting pretty warm too, especially for this time of the year. Looking at highs in the upper 60s for Mount Shasta by the weekend, early next week, and in the mid to upper 60s for Alturas and Susanville.